Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we will discuss things women regret about their weddings and wish they could have done better. I came across these videos on TikTok and couldn't find as many about men detailing their regrets, but I add just a few. As you guys know, weddings are often centered around women. Here they are. Enjoy them, and future brides, takes notes. Okay, so I've been seeing this trend of brides talking about things they regretted about their wedding. So here are three things. Number one, the guest list. We invited like 300 something odd people. 220 came. I wish I could have brought that all the way down to like 150. That would have been my magic number. Number two, I wish I could have done away with a bridal party. Love them to death. They were amazing. We're still friends with these people, but it was just a lot of work, a lot of hassle. It took more time for me to find their things than my own things. I could have done away with that. And the last thing, number three, would have been not cheaping out on videography. I wish we had gone ahead and splurged on cinematography. Like we had splurged on our photos. Our photos are amazing. We still love them. People still love them. I wish we had splurged on that. Videography, or cinematography. So yeah, those are my three things. If you're a bride, if you're thinking about getting married, consider those things. Okay, love you, bye.
All right, I have been married now for 2.5 months, and I thought I would share with you guys my biggest wedding regret. Now, I planned this thing out to a T. I put everything I had into wedding planning for a year to hopefully have no regrets. And with everything, I have just one. Greeting people. And hear me out. I think it's so important to greet your guests. So important. But the bride and groom just shouldn't be spending their entire reception greeting people. With that said, if I could go back, my solution would be to allot myself a time, like 45 minutes for him and I, and say, in this 45 minutes, we are going to greet as many people as we can. After that, they can come to you. Now, lucky for us, we had an after party, so it really didn't end up being a big deal. But if we didn't have an after party, I think I would have been bummed how much time I spent doing that. Brides, enjoy your wedding. Dance the night away.
Okay, wedding regrets. My hair. So I had said that I would put my hair in a bun, and then someone said they were going to do it for me. I thought they did it. I wasn't paying attention because I was doing all the other things, and they didn't do it. So my hair has this like loopy, curly, small ponytail thing that just bothers me. If it doesn't look bad, let me know, but I think it just looks so weird and funny. It should have actually been a loose, like, low bun with this curly swoopy bangs. Looking at all my photos, like, I hate it. I'll show you what those look like. You can see them here, but honestly, the photos are so good, it distracts me.
One of the reasons why we started, just to preserve these moments, because when I got married, I didn't have a videographer, and that was one of the things that I regretted. And I always think about my day, but it's only in my head. So it's like, I'm left with that pain, and I know that feeling so much.
The problem that I had with our wedding is that, one, it was too much fun. It was way too inspiring and just overall too lit.
What the heck? Do you even have real answers? I have a legit list.
Yeah, I do. Go into your first one. There were like random jokes that I had. I'm like, oh, I'll write this down.
I didn't know you were doing stand-up.
I love a big wedding. I don't mind people spending money on weddings if they got the money. People will justify anything for one day.
These are the 4 things I regret for my wedding and honestly wish I can go back in time to change. Hi guys, my name is Dr. Ya and I'm a 2023 bride. I got married on April 5th and this is a video to talk about some of the things that I regret during my wedding planning process. The first one is not enjoying the wedding planning process and not romanticizing it, literally begging for the day to come. And that's because honestly, wedding planning can be very stressful, but it's meant to be fun. You're planning the union between you and your loved ones, and yes, there are many things that may or may not go to plan. Yes, the process can be very overwhelming, but I think just allowing yourself to enjoy it, romanticize it, so create folders, use every opportunity to go out for brunch, just really enjoy it. That's something that I really wish I did. There are moments where I was enjoying it, and there are other moments where I'd literally cry and be so stressed out. I feel like now the process is over. Like, I miss it so much, and I know I wouldn't have done that if I wasn't like fully present in the moment and enjoying it. So for any brides to be, just honestly, I know it's stressful, but your day will come together so beautifully. Just take a deep breath and just enjoy it, honestly, because it comes and goes by so quickly. The second is, I honestly felt like I missed a lot of my wedding because I was literally in another room getting a corset taken in or getting changed out of a dress. And I remember literally there was a time during my white wedding when I was changing into my second outfit, I could hear the party, like it was such a vibe. And then by the time I came out, people were eating or people were drinking, or like things had changed, and I was like, oh my gosh, why am I missing out the litness? So whoever does your wedding schedule, just make sure that, you know, they put an appropriate time for you to get changed. Make sure that you're maximum in that room for like 30 minutes, unless you're getting like your hair and makeup changed completely. Just make sure you're factoring in time to get that done so you can actually still be there to enjoy. I got married 10 minutes ago
today, and here are 5 things that I would definitely do differently, from least minor to biggest regret. First was not planning in advance what I would want to do in order to savor my bouquet after the wedding. If this is something that you want to do, make sure it's on your to-do list leading up to the wedding, because apparently after the fact it's too late. The second was not specifying to the venue what we wanted done with the cake. After my husband and I took these photos, I kind of just assumed that they were going to cut some pieces of the cake for the guests to have and then save some. They ended up cutting the entire cake, and we weren't able to take any home. And the cake was so beautiful, and when they cut it up, they absolutely butchered it, but that's an aside. My third regret is not going to table to say hi to everyone. There's so little time in the reception in order to do that, and we took what time we had to go off and take sunset photos, which, don't get me wrong, I don't regret it all, but I wish there was enough time in order to do both. My second biggest regret is not allocating enough time to get ready. We started getting ready at 7:30, and our photos were not until 1:30, and we were still so rushed for time. You can never allocate yourself too much time. And then my absolute biggest regret follows that one, in that we didn't have time for me to take individual photos with all of my bridesmaids. I got one with Lauren, who's my maid of honor, but no one else, and I was pretty bummed about that. In addition to that, I would also really recommend taking individual photos with your loved ones. Like, my grandma has since passed since our wedding, and I would have so loved to have an individual photo with her.
Number one thing was forgetting, I can't even bring myself to say this without getting sad, forgetting to do my mom and dad's speech, or forgetting to allocate time for my mom and dad to do their speeches. We did not want a lot of speeches. We were literally going to narrow it down to 2. So for that reason, we had all of our bridal party to give their speeches at our rehearsal dinner, which was amazing. And we were reserving mom and dad for the wedding. Well, the wedding planner comes up to me while we're eating, and she's like, hey, are we ready to do speeches, or do we want to do them after the dress change? And of course, in that moment, I had literally just put a piece of food in my mouth. I was just like trying to savor the moment. I was like, let's do it right after the dress change. Of course, you know, we finish eating. I go do my dress change. I come back, and my husband and I are thanking everybody and doing sort of a toast. And like, before you know it, I was like, all right, I'm ready to turn up. And the DJ turned the music on, and literally I lost the thought. It just went out of my brain. And I'm just like, obviously I didn't think about it, because I don't care if I would have thought about it 5 minutes before the wedding. We would have given those speeches 5 minutes before the wedding. My dad is not a public speaker, so he was probably like, I'm glad you let me off the hook. But my mom had like a formal speech, like written, and I cried for days about this, because their speech was so important to me. And the fact that I just got so wrapped up and overwhelmed with like time and just trying to fit everything in, that it slipped my mind, makes me feel horrible. And I've given myself grace now, and I've accepted it. My mom is actually going to put the speech in a frame and mail it to me, so I'll still have it forever. But that, like, that tore me up.
Tell me that you don't regret anything from your wedding day, because if you do, I know you're lying. The most common regrets I hear from couples, let's get into it. So the first, not attending cocktail hour, duh. If you want to sneak away for a quick sunset photo with your significant other, then like do so, but make it 5 minutes tops, because the experience of your cocktail hour is going to be more important than photos. Not hiring a videographer. It doesn't need to be a bougie, expensive videographer. Find a savvy college kid who knows how to vlog and edit a YouTube video, grab them for cheap, and they will probably do a better job than the experienced ones out there. Plus, they'll probably grab your phone and take great phone footage too. Are you getting your hair and makeup done for your rehearsal dinner? If so, then why don't we have photographers there? That's one of my biggest regrets. I went all in for my outfit, my look, my glam, and I don't have photos. My personal favorite, not having a more planned after party. Don't just think you can show up at the local bar with your whole wedding. It just doesn't work. I'm running out of time.